Here's another article here to do with, the new freedom. People have asked me what George Bush meant by the new freedom. And I said, well, whenever a president or a prime minister gets up to the nation and says something, then he's creating a legality. He's giving you a new definition of something. And when you just stand with your mouths open and forget it, well, that is the law by common consent. Your silence is common consent. And so therefore, you have a new definition of freedom. And everyone's lost all of their rights under this fake war on terror, which is really a war of terror on the public. And they're getting worse and worse with it. There's no end to what they're not going to do to make sure that no person in any of the countries under this jurisdiction can have a single stray thought without them knowing what it is. But here's the latest too, in the war on terror, supposedly, which is a war of terror. And it's amazing too, you can put up all these incredible spacecraft and all this new weaponry, and when we're all supposedly utterly broke, we're all bankrupt. But these things just go ahead like, money's getting, well, I guess it is getting printed up, isn't it? It's all bogus at the top anyway, all this nonsense of adding and subtracting. It's bogus at that level. Anyway, Mail Online, super spy in the sky could soon be patrolling over British cities to search for hidden terror cells, right? A top secret US unmanned drone used to locate Al-Qaeda and Taliban hideouts in Pakistan and Afghanistan could soon be patrolling over British cities to search for hidden terror cells. The controversial move would allow MI5 and GCHQ, the government's eavesdropping centre, to step up surveillance operations over the UK. Until now, the £23 million Global Hawk aircraft has not been available for foreign sale. However, US foreign policy has been quietly changed, and Britain is now negotiating to buy the drones. America is keen to supply them for British patrols after a string of terror plots threatened the US and its citizens, which were all nonsense, actually. But they use the farcical one about the detonating equipment or bombs and aircraft flying to American cities from the UK, the underwear bomber and all that kind of stuff. And it says it's not known how many drones in the UK wants to manufacture Northrop Grumman, but earlier this year a senior Ministry of Defence procurement official visited the Pentagon to begin negotiations. Now this thing really is to listen over your conversations in the streets. They can actually listen to your conversation inside houses and rooms, all from these flying drones. No privacy whatsoever at any time. Doesn't matter what you're doing. It says the drones are also being deployed by the US Navy in the Caribbean and off the Florida coast to combat drug smuggling. In Britain, MI5 and the GCHQ already use 3 planes based at RAF Northolt in northwest London to spy on citizens. The 3 Britain Norman Islander aircraft are all fitted with sophisticated surveillance equipment. They've been used to track down terror cells, yeah, sure, until they locate former Afghan veterans who may have returned to Britain to plot terror attacks. You understand, you couldn't weasel into Britain from any of these countries without getting spotted en route, and probably before you left your own country. This has nothing to do with terror. This is to do with a totally controlled, dominated, dictatorial, planned society. That's what all of this is about. All of it. And we are paying for all this gimmickry and machinery through our tax money. We buy our chains, and we buy the next generation's chains in the process. And we say nothing. Say nothing about it. Because people have been turned into docile wimps. That's why. And the big boys know it too. We have had a war of a chemical nature on us through inoculations and through the GMO food. And people definitely are not running at full power. They're way below it, well below it in fact. And they have been for a long time. And again, that's exactly what people like Bertrand Russell said they'd do. By the use of the needle, the food and the water and all the rest of it, they would create their docile, passive population. That's happened, folks. That's happened.